Grim here. I have a Scareclaw deck on me at the moment. I've been playing around with it. It's going second Scareclaw, which is pretty normal for them, but yeah, just so much fun. There's a few things in it that you can kind of switch around and change depending on how you want to play this deck, especially because it's part of the Visa storyline. You could put a lot of different cool techs in if you wanted to. The variant I was playing was pretty much just you go second, you just try to kill them that turn, just an OTK version. Taking full advantage of Tryhawk and board breakers pretty much. So I opted to play majority board breakers rather than hand traps. Because in my mind, it was like I can hand trap players and they can still play through hand traps and make a board. And this deck can be quite sensitive to certain interruptions. Whereas if I let them establish a board and I just break the board first, and then I can proceed to play through it and kill them that turn, it's a lot more likely. The only issue is that you have to then side appropriately because you have to try and predict, are they going to try and make you go first or are they going to go first again? Majority of the time, the dice roll doesn't matter at the start unless you're going against another OTK deck. But in that sense, there are some cards in here that are well going first. So I'll just get into the ratio. So for the Scareclaw monsters, I kind of max out on most of them, which is triple Rykart. He is your best one. He's a 1-card combo into Tryhawk. Triple Acro. Well, they're all 1-card combos, which is why I max out on their names. Triple Balloon and then Triple Astra. So I run 3 of each because they all go into Lightheart by normal summoning them. Lightheart will search your field spell will search you whichever one you want. You probably then go into like this, for example. This will get you Arrival. And then, Arrival the other one, going to Tryheart, summon a 3 back. It is important to get a level 3 one though. As much as Rykart is great, you can't just play with Rykart. If something gets stopped and you don't have access to another level 3 as well in your hands, for example, it can be rough because Tryhard only searches by summoning a level 3 back. So maxing out on them just makes sense to me. They're all 1-card combos. And it's kind of nice just being able to normal link 1 and start playing the game. But for sure, I definitely think they're playing 3 of each of them. It's not like the Scareclaw package is actually that large either, in my opinion. So like double Scareclaw Kashtira, I do think you need 2 of this alongside of triple Fen. Fen's a good going second card. It is quite nice going first card as well. So in case that is a situation, you can add an extra disruption. As a going second card, it is just an extra body. Can also help with like Omni negates, just extra removal pretty much. Scareclaw Clash is just fantastic for the deck. In fact, he can quick effect himself from hand. In the attacks and defense mode, negates the effects of some monsters that are battle Cashews or Scareclaws. Overall, just a fantastic card, but it's not one you need 3 of, in my opinion. It's not like all the other names where you just normal summon them and they make the combo. This still requires you to banish one. So it's not like if you just open that by itself, that's great. You'd have to open that and a Scareclaw card. But otherwise, I like this ratio. I think this works pretty much perfectly for ratio-wise. And then I run a Starfrost and a Samsara. So ideally, a lot of people would just play Starfrost, get you into a Baron with a Rykart. I wanted to test. I did have 2 Samsara and 1 Starfrost, but I took one of the Samsaras out. I did like it having 1/1. It's just kind of like an extra monster you could normally link into Lightheart with. Overall, though, the biggest issue with this, though, is that it can just get impermed or veiled, and then it's no longer Visa Starfrost. But the positive side, it's a good droplet target, kind of like ditching this off a droplet. And then a lot of players don't then realize you have access to Vicious Astrolaud when you start doing your Scareclaw stuff. And then at that point, Astrolaud's just a very good card to help OTK. Even if you don't go into Tryhard and you're just board wiping, because the deck's got a very good ability of just link climbing. But yeah, definitely I've enjoyed playing one of each of them. Starfrost is definitely the better one because it's searchable and then it gives you access to Baron. So that is a very nice benefit to Starfrost. Double Dogoran. So this is something you could change for like hand traps if you wished. Any of the only going second cards like this that don't do anything if you go first, you could opt to play hand traps instead, like Drolls or Ashes. I do run Imperms, but that's the only hand trap I use because I can use it in my turn as well to negate something. But I definitely think the Kaiju is just super handy. Your opponent's got like an interruption board, but one of them is an Omni negate. You just give them the Kaiju and then Lightning Storm them or Feather Duster them just to start removing the board. Fantastic card though. It's got a nice stats as well. So I main deck Book of Eclipse. I opted for this one because it's got a good attack if Vicious Astrolabe were to destroy it. And it's got low defense. So if I Book of Eclipse it, Triheart will do a lot of damage to it if it does piercing. So I chose Dogoran for those reasons. You could choose like 3/3 Kaijus. But I think both their stats are 3/3/2/6, 3/3/2/1. If I'm correct. Might be lower for the Thunder King, I'm not sure. But either way, I think that just kind of optimizes on both the stats. But that's the monsters that I use. And then for spells, I run Triple Planet. Some people run 2 of this. I understand the concept because it's a hard once per turn. It's super searchable. But it is nice just to hard open it as well. Like, it is a very good card. The pop effect does come up a lot. Like, removing floodgates, removing good field spells, just generally just nice removal of popping a card in the field if there's 3 or more defensive monsters. The search effect's fantastic. The minusing effect comes up occasionally, but the pop effect does come up a lot. I find a lot of people forget about it as well. So it's just a really nice... Actually, a lot of people summon their stuff in defense and then not realize that Reichphobia is now live to pop stuff. I run double Droplet and double Book of Eclipse. So again, you could change ratios. You could take Dogrens out, put triple Droplet, triple Book of Eclipse. I just didn't feel like I needed 3 of each of them. So I could optimize on playing different variants of removal. Opening 2 Droplets is like, it's nice. You can just ditch the other one for removal. But I'd like to have variety in what I open towards board breaking. Same with Book of Eclipse. Just opening one of them is enough. You don't need 2 of them in your hand. These are both nice cards. You can use them going first. You can set them and disrupt your opponent's turn. So that is the more core benefit of them. Then my 2 Lightning Storms, and I use 1 Feather Duster as well. These are more like my heavy removal cards. Definitely won me a lot of games. These just getting rid of stuff and then Lightning Storming and Feather Dusting someone helps a lot. And it's really dependent then if the opponent has any sort of hand traps. But if they haven't and they've like got like a single Ash Blossom maybe or a single Veiler, and you're able to just break the board, they will usually die that turn. Triheart does a lot of damage. And even without Triheart, the deck has so many monsters it can just throw out on the field. It's very good. Very good deck though. But yeah, limited, semi-limited, you can't really change their ratios, but I do enjoy using them. They are cards that are only for second going, really. Feather Dust is arguable. Like, it's a limited card, you could just chuck it in there. But seeing it going first, it'll just sit in your hand. So technically, you could take those 3 out for Drolls. I usually just side in the Drolls, if I'm sure, or I'll, like, side out Dograns and 1 Storm, put triple Droll in, or, like, triple Ash or Nib, depending on what I'm against. And then that way I've still got 1 Storm and 1 Feather Duster, and I don't feel like I will brick as much on them. Double Talents, it's good going first or second, fantastic card. Don't feel like I need 3 though. Same sort of like thing, opening 2 of them doesn't really do anything. 2 Arrival, you don't need 3 of this, it's just a 2 of. It's just a fantastic card. They just summon Visa back as well, so overall it's just a really nice card to get the deck going. Hard opening it isn't the worst either. One defanging. So the other ones that you would use would be like Twin Saw or Splash, but they're more like going first cards. Again, you could side them in if you consider yourself going first and take like this out. I think this is just really good. It's protection for your tryhard. You know, because your opponent could try and Veiler it or Imperm or, you know, do something towards tryhard that targets. But having the targeting protection is really nice on the tryhard, and especially the card effect protection as well. Like a pop on your tryhard and your turn's pretty much over. But this is just nice having that extra bit of protection. And then one terraforming, because the field spell is a good card. You could argue you don't even need this because you run light hearts, but I still opt to have 4 field spells in my deck. And then triple imperm, hand trap, and it's good in your turn as well. Just overall a good card, honestly. You could flex the spots of a lot of the cards in here and change them for hand traps or whatever you really want. They are completely changeable. Then for extra deck, I ran 2 tryhard. I don't really think you need 3 of this. There's never situations where I look at this and I'm like, oh, I need 3 tryhard. It's very rare I even go into the second one. A lot of times I will just kill with the first. It is a really good boss monster, but I don't feel the need of running 3 of it. It's just takes up an extra slot in my exec that can be for a better link monster. I've enjoyed having 2. I don't think I'll ever change it from 2. 1 Underworld Goddess, just fantastic card. Removal, you can spam your board with monsters. It's pretty easy. Honestly, just such a good card. Getting rid of problem monsters with it is just fantastic. 1 access code, helps with OTKs. And remove, honestly, just removing stuff off the board. Really easy to go into as well. 1 unicorn. I was using a Selene before, but it was just an accident that I used in a tournament. It was meant to be my unicorn, but I had a Selene. Selene's a really nice card to try and climb into access code talker with. But the problem is you need to main deck like Veilers or some form of spellcasters to get access into the access code. I mean, like if you use a Horus package in your decks, sure, you could use a Selene in any X deck with a Horus package to get into an access code with a Charmer, because Amnesty is a spellcaster and you can just revive it back. But if you don't have an extra spellcaster, then it's like Selene isn't like the extra body you need into the access code. It's just a link 3, which if it's going to be a link 3, it should be unicorn. Just removal, just to make sure that your access code is going to be safe when it comes out. I mean, you can't stop a Veil on it, but you can believe 1 Phoenix removal as well. I mean, with the new banners, maybe not as much removal as you need for pesky spell traps, but it's quite nice. Just, you know, good spell trap cards that could potentially be a threat. Just remove them off the board. 1 Dark and 1 Alsa. I used 2 Charmers. Dark's very accessible and Alsa's very accessible. They're just fantastic cards. This can take Fenris from the grave. This can take, like, I mean, you don't really want to take Bestials off the top of my head. Maybe a Magma if you were putting Bestials, side decking Bestials yourself. But you definitely wouldn't want to take, like, a Druid's or something. But there's some good Dark monsters in the game. Like, you can take a Dark off someone else as well, or link 2 and then link into access code with them. He will only gain 2k, but it's still an access code. But yeah, fantastic cards. The Charmers, I'm a very big fan of them. 1 Cross Sheep. This card's still really good. Like, I use Vicious Astrolabe. It can help extend quite a bit. A lot of people have actually been a bit confused when they see me summon it in this deck, and they're like, oh. And I've summoned it before, it's pointing to a Baron and I summon a Vicious Astrolabe, and I'm like, am I playing Manidium again? But it's a really good card. Like, the ability to gain different effects depending on what it's pointing to, summoning something back when it's a fusion, it's just really nice. Then 2 Lightheart. So Lightheart's something you could potentially bump to 3. if you want to change something in the X deck. Like if you don't own something, for sure you can run 3 Lightheart. It is a fantastic card, especially because I run 3 of the field spell, but you only want to run 2 of the field spell. Like 2 is kind of like a perfect amount of Lightheart. But if you do want to run 3 of it, you can still use 2 like I do. I don't think I need 3. I don't ever have it come up enough where I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to link into 3 Lighthearts. It just doesn't happen. But it is a really good card. And as a link 1, it's just pretty handy to have. And then I run 1 Chaos Angel and 1 Baron. So these are both accessible through Visa Starfrost. So you could use a Visa Starfrost, kill your Lightheart, summon them. You can summon your Lightheart back from your grave, synchro with a Reichheart and your Starfrost into a Baron, which is a normally negate, which is pretty nice. Or an Angel, if you feel like this is something you need at that point in time. I was considering using like a level 8 synchro instead because I use Samsara, like a Scarlight, or mainly to burn. Like if I didn't kill them that turn, I could then summon a Scarlight and potentially burn them for the game. Or just any other like level 8 synchros that might be handy. I was trying to figure out a way if I could put these as Amatara in the level 8 synchro, but it needs a light non-tuner, and I could not figure out a way to do it, so I opted for these two fantastic cards. Again, though, you don't have to use this. It's complete. You can put a Chenying in, you can put anything in really. That's up to you, your 3rd Lightheart. I've just tested that. It's been quite nice having it. It's extra removal, just a big body. And then 2 Astrolabe because I run the 2 Visas. Just a good card, OTKs. You could run 1 technically and just run 1 Starfrost, but I like having the access to 2 because I run 2 Visas. Just a really good card, honestly. But yeah, that's Scareclaw. It's just a heavy OTK version. I've enjoyed playing it a lot. I like that because I can do like really simple stuff. Like this example, this board breaks and then 1 card combos into a big guy. It's just fun, quite interactive in the sense that you break a board and you just kill them. It's not interactive in the sense of like a grind game. But like potentially if you are trying to grind out with this deck and you're not getting to the stage, you can just kill them. It's pretty interesting, but it doesn't happen often. But yeah, this is a really cool deck. You can use Adventure Engine in it. There's loads of different variants of it. Just like have fun and experiment with it. It's a really cool deck. Anyway, hopefully everyone has a lovely Christmas as well. See you. Bye.